Hello everyone and welcome to GuildGab episode 104. This is a show all about Guild Wars 2 and we got a prologue episode for season 5 of the Living World called the Icebrood Saga. The last episode we talked about the announcement of the Icebrood Saga and we found pleasantly surprised that the prologue had a lot of content in it, almost as much as a full episode. So we are back with another show to talk about this prologue. I keep wanting to call it an episode. It's not. It's a new phase of Guild Wars 2, and I'm liking it. It's called Bound by Blood. So we'll be talking about that today with my co-hosts RPG Alex, MMO Inks, and CorvusPlays.
What's up, guys?
Hello, hello. So I haven't seen anyone say that this episode, or I'm just gonna call it an episode because that's what it is.
It's an episode. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest, it was longer. Uh-oh! Inks is throwing it down right now.
I'm kidding.
Well, whether you liked it or not, was it still more content than you were expecting?
Oh, yeah, man. Like,
Definitely.
what I was thinking, it's, for me, how the contrast to like the mood from the announcement and with the mood in the episode, they're just at different ends of the spectrum. I was playing it. I was thinking about the you know, they remade Ghostbusters a couple of years ago with was it Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Kristen Wiig, and I watched the trailer and I thought it was rubbish. Like the trailer was just shockingly poor. And then I watched the film and I loved it. I thought the reboot of Ghostbusters was great, and that's exactly how I feel, right? And like the announcement, I was kind of like, oh, whoa, okay. And then the episode was just like, but there was all this that you could have shown us, and it could have been so cool. And you know, and I know they only had a very select kind of limited time to talk about it, and they had to get a whole bunch of stuff in the rest of the saga as well. But they, yeah, man, like they did a really bad job at hyping up. But do you think that was intentional? Do you think they intentionally didn't hype us up for this prologue and then just dumped all this content on us?
Probably not.
No, that's really bad marketing.
It was either really bad or really good marketing, because like everyone I've talked to is pleasantly surprised with the amount of content. Like I said, whether or not you liked it, Ace. Yeah. You know, I think the amount of content was very surprising. Like the whole cinematic that they previewed with Bangar and Ritlock, like punch him in the face. Like I thought that was episode 1. Like I was like, oh, we're gonna wait till episode 1 to see that. This is just like the char party and a couple events, like the derby racing and the target shooting, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of like open world NPC story. But no, this was significant.
Yeah, it was huge stuff. Like, I don't really know where to begin.
Yeah, I was super surprised by the length of it. Like, there was quite a few times where I was like, oh, it's probably gonna end now. Like, you know, just as like a little seed to like kind of cliffhanger or whatever. But it just kept going.
Yeah.
I was super happy with it overall.
Full disclosure, I've not finished it yet. I've only just done the bit where Ritlock punches the dude, and who for the people who haven't been keeping up with social media, is voiced by Graham McTavish, who was Dwalin in The Hobbit, who was the bold one, which is awesome. Nice. Like I'm gonna say it's my favorite Living World episode, bar none.
Really?
Easy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the char. It's the metal warband. Right?
We're gonna need an episode to talk about that on its own, I think. But just like the polish and the map and the change in the way that the narrative is delivered. It's not like through tiny instances or you're like a bystander, and we kind of saw this in season 4 that the commander was getting more involved with the way that the story plays out, but you're getting more involved now, and there's even like the first thing where you see Ragnar talking to all of the char, and then suddenly, you know, he's talking, and what we're used to is just kind of like sitting there and kind of just, you know, listening to the dialogue play out, and then boom, suddenly there's an event with achievements halfway through his speech, and you're like, whoa, okay, let's get involved. And yeah, I
didn't see that as anything different than they normally do. I think it was presented very well. I think the presentation is getting better and better of the story, like having Aurene swoop in the middle of it, like out of nowhere, and then that prompting them to start talking about, like, because a big theme was that they think that, like, we have control of Aurene, we could use her as a weapon. That was a big theme. So, like, it was, I think, having her swoop in and kind of show her power, and then them almost immediately not accuse us, but like, you know, well, look at all this power you have, and then that leads into them going for, you know, we want Jormag. So I think that the way that they're telling the story is just, it keeps getting better and better. I was engaged like the entire time, and some of the game mechanic things that they use, like taking over the camera with it slowly zooming in on Bangar while he's giving his speech, like helps keep me engaged. What?
No, I got really confused. I didn't have any idea what was happening on the stream, and everyone was like, dude, what are you doing to the camera? Can you stop that? We can't concentrate.
Really?
And I was like, I can't.
Oh my god! Wow.
I thought something had gone wrong.
They started doing that in season 5 of the last season, like when Aurene's flying over and like putting her crystals like to trap Kralkatorrik when his head's inside and you're attacking him. Like the
like
camera zooms in. It takes control of the camera. I personally absolutely love that. It keeps me very engaged in what's going on, especially when it's just an NPC just standing there and giving a speech. Like, it takes control of that. It's more cinematic to me. And even during that, like, once it really zooms in on Bangar when he's giving his speech, you can look around. You still have limited control. You can look around and just, like, the perspective, because, like, Ritlock is right, and Krisha are right in front of you, and, like, just the perspective of the way that the models are moving with the camera, it was, like, brand new. I was really impressed with, like, that. The, like, cinematography within the episode. It was really cool.
Like the presentation, like you were saying, the polish, like it might not have been like super heavy in terms of like, I mean, there was a good amount of like lore and stuff around, but like it wasn't like one of those mind-blowing episodes in terms of like cliffhangers and huge lore reveals and stuff. But this was like relatively chill episode, but it was just a showcase of how smooth everything is now. Like they know how to build these episodes, they know how to deliver the story well, and I don't know, it was just a really good demonstration of the experience that ArenaNet have got since, you know, season 1. And I think that's really cool, because this Iceboot Saga, a lot of people are thinking it's gonna be quite like season 1 in terms of like the smaller little updates and a bit more regular and stuff. So I think it was a really good way to show how much better this is going to be than like season 1, for instance.
Yeah, it's I'm really impressed, like really impressed with what they've done. And I know, like, the last time that we talked, and I wasn't expecting to be, and I've just been pretty much knocked over by the experience. Well, I don't know why I'm so shocked. Like I've had so much. Honestly, I've had so much fun in this bit. Like the events are cool. They're varied. There's the roller derby, which is just so much fun. Like the destruction thing, and like every single little event's different. So you've got the destruction derby, you've got the target practice, you've got the Simon Says kind of reaction times on that smelting event. Then you've got the ooze pits. Then you've got the concert, which we're gonna have to talk about in a second.
That was my favorite.
You're so wrong, man. Like,
okay, Inks, lay it on us. What do you think?
No, I mean, it was a great episode. I loved it a lot. In fact, I think it's one of their better episodes. Maybe not my favorite of all time, but certainly one of the better ones they've ever done, I think. Any criticisms I have about the patch are all very small, nitpicky. If these things were fixed, it would have been perfect. which almost nothing is perfect, right?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just not into the concert. I don't know why. I've done it twice now, and I don't need to listen to the music anymore. I've had my fill. It's not that it's bad or terrible or anything like that.
It's just noise, man. Like
I
you can't
just
even understand what they're saying.
I heard it. I mean, I listened for the
Too
first
loud.
time. I enjoyed it. It's good. I think it's cool, all the little events that you have to do during the concert, and you're running around in circles, and everybody's jumping up and down. Like I think it's really good. It's just, I don't know. A lot of people are super hyped for that concert event, and I'm just like, it's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't your thing.
Good. Yeah. I actually like the strike mission way more than probably most other things, and the strike mission's not even difficult. In fact, you can ignore like basically all of the you can ignore all of the things that are happening
inside him, and that's it.
Yeah.
Easy boss fight.
But there's some nice rewards that come out of that if you're super lucky, that have some value right now, and I like that. In the future maybe it won't have as much, but it'll be interesting to see how that strike mission evolves in the next episode. And I like the story. I think the introduction of the Char, and I guess just what the Char bring to the table. It's nice and it's refreshing, and I guess maybe that's why I really like the episode. I don't know. Now my nitpicks are Bram is everywhere. Like the voice of Bram.
Right, yeah.
And I get that ArenaNet has a budget constraint and whatever, but I wish they would use somebody else, because no offense to Bram's voice actor, he does a wonderful job on Bram, and I love Bram, but his voice doesn't change for anything else. And putting the little Char snarl into his voice, it's still Bram.
Yeah.
I'm walking around listening to Bram having all these conversations, and it's like,
he's already a Norn, so there's already a tiny bit of processing on his voice. So it really is just like the added snarl. That's kind of it.
And again, minor, not important thing, but
definitely something still.
I don't know if it's my settings, but during the dialogue between Bangar and Ritlock where he's punching him, I didn't get any punching sounds.
Oh yeah, same thing happened to me. Yeah, they're like the sound effects cut off like halfway through.
So I didn't get any punching sounds. I don't know if that's a setting I need to adjust or something on my end. I don't know.
The weird thing is that the cutscene audio can be a little bit strange sometimes. I've had it where I've been playing through headphones and it's come out of my speakers, even though it's set to default the speakers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
There's been stuff like the it was stuff like the Omad's Machine cutscene all the way back in season 2, and there was one of them in Path of Fire, the main Path of Fire story that did it as well, and some of the sound effects were just missing. Hopefully they'll address it in patch, because especially that punching sound.
Yeah, I'm glad that I had heard it.
Gorgeous sound.
Yeah. I was disappointed because we had seen the cutscene in their PAX presentation, and so I knew that the sounds were really good, and then when I didn't hear it in game, I was like, oh, like what, where is it? Like, oh, it's so disappointing.
I need that punch sound.
You would think that cinematics wouldn't be affected by your audio sliders, and normally I have no problems with that, but like, yeah, I mean, I do have my, like, maybe you're the same, Inks, like I have my, the sound effects, like, slider in the game, or I forget if it's called sound effects specifically, but like I have that turned way down so that like when you're in the open world and in a giant battle, like the stuff isn't overwhelming.
When I do story, I have all that stuff turned up, like sound quality at the highest and all that, whatever. But, what else was I going to say? My other nitpick has to do with the pepper bush for your home instance.
Now, that's crap.
It's 5,000 magic, and it's 60 gold instead of 10,000 magic and 50 gold.
Oh.
So it's a little more expensive, but you spend less magic on it, which I guess is fine. But when you go to mine it, you only get one hit, and you get 1 to 3. I've only ever gotten 1 and 2, so I don't know how
1 to 3.
I think it's
They are going to address it. Address it in a patch. They have said that already.
Well, okay. Well, then that's great, because all the other bushes and stuff, it's like 3 hits.
Yeah.
All the mines are 3 hits, and then it rolls. Like usually you just get 1, but sometimes you get 2 or whatever from a home instance node. So that reward was a little odd for me.
Interestingly, it's on the trading post for less now. It's on the trading post for like 40 gold. So it obviously drops from somewhere.
Oh.
Somebody said that too. The first day I was playing, somebody said they opened up a chart artifact thing, and they got it from that. But when you look on the loot table, it's not there.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
in the
it's not in the preview.
Huh.
So I don't know where that drops from. I kind of feel bad for buying it now because it was sort of a waste if it didn't drop. I didn't even know it was on the trading post, but yeah, Alex is posting it here.
Weird.
And
Wow.
I spent 60 gold yesterday, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, me too.
Bought it for 40.
Huh.
I'm an idiot, but
I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The events are really fun. I've got no criticisms about the events. I enjoyed all those.
Yeah.
You know, Casimir and Jory are back. It's
Yay!
nice.
Cass and Jory turn up, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't really have a lot in the episode much.
There wasn't a
but
lot,
it's
but at least
okay.
they were there and they were acknowledged.
And the other thing is, when Irene swoops in, now, did you see her? Because all I seen was her trail. I didn't see the dragon itself.
It was very missable. I think I just kind of caught a flash.
Very
I didn't
fast.
see her.
I wish it was a little bit slower so I could actually see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've not really seen.
Or like knew she was coming. Like maybe someone said like, "Oh, what's that in the sky?" So that you could have time to angle your camera up to like, what are they looking at?
Maybe it was intentional, like because you know she obviously is meant to look a lot different now. So maybe they tried. Maybe it was just like an effect or something. It was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Well,
like
if she's an elder dragon, she's like gigantic, right? So it happened so fast that I don't really remember, and I'm okay because that trail that she left behind like lingered for a long time, so you could like see like her path that she took, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But the map is beautiful. I love the map.
It's so Guild Wars 1.
Aesthetics.
Oh.
I love the aesthetics of it. It's just it's I guess maybe because it's a departure from the desert. Although like a lot of the maps last season weren't all deserty, but I don't know. It's green, it's bright, it's colorful. I like that. So
they've managed to get the color palette and the shaders down to what Grothmore Valley was at the first time around, and then it's great, and the way that they've tried to recreate the original map has been great. Like the ooze pits is roughly where the ooze pit dungeon was. The old Doomlore shrine, I think, is pretty much there, and then the original Citadel of Flame dungeon is just tucked behind it, and that's not accessible at the moment.
Yeah, I really hope that gets added at some point. Yeah, in some way. I
mean, I think either like a revamped Rhaegar's Menagerie or the original Citadel of Flame is gonna be Raid Wing 8, or for some reason the Doomlore Shrine meta boss. For some reason, I have a really weird feeling she's going to be a raid boss.
That's interesting. Could be.
Just because we didn't actually kill her, we killed her shade or something like that.
Yeah, it's like.
My only other nitpick is the achievements. There's tons of them, and I think like maybe this is intentional by ArenaNet, by the way, but you need 45 to get the rock out thing. I feel like that's a bit much. Don't get me wrong. I love that there's so many achievements to do, and for a lot of them, like if you do the roller beetle race and you get gold, then you get 3. Right?
3, yeah.
But I don't know. 45 seems, and I still haven't completed it. Sorry, but 45 seems like a lot. And to be quite honest, or 54. Somebody says it's 54. Geez, I can only see 45 so far. Anyway, you're much better off doing structured PvP or World vs. World 100% to complete it. Yeah. And if you do structured PvP and World vs. World, you get the Metal Legion t-shirt
as well.
Yeah, and you get some of the weapons or something. Yeah. So like you're gonna save yourself a lot of time and like map resources by doing one of World vs. World or structured PvP or both of them.
Which may be by design.
Right, that's what I said. Maybe it's intentional that they made it, but 54 is a lot of achievements. And I don't know if the average player who plays like 40 minutes a day or something, or maybe less, I don't even know. Like, it's going to keep them busy, right? But are they just going to get bored halfway through and be like,
this is my problem with the achievements is that it's sort of like you do all the stuff for that reward at the end, but it's just a mountain to get over to get there. hardly any of the achievements are anything more than just one or AP or something. Like there's sometimes you get the little chest and it's like, oh cool, you get maybe some of the map currency or something, but there isn't that many of those this time. A lot of them, the vast majority is just.
Haven't we been getting like a few like 3 and 5 AP ones this time around? There's a lot that I've been taking off that have been
there's a lot of AP. Like it really does add up. There's a lot of AP. I don't know how much in total, but there's a lot.
But I just wish there was a bit more bonus rewards, some map currency or something, just to kind of feel like it's worth carrying on.
See, I will say this: the strike mission has a special chair. It's sort of plain.
Oh, does it?
It's a Norn chair that drops, and there is a shoulder piece that drops from the strike, and the shoulder piece is worth a lot of money if you want to sell it on the trade, like 1,200 gold or so.
Dang.
The Connor Vault can drop the different weapons, as well as a face mask, and the face mask is worth a lot of money, 1,200, 1,500 gold. So if you get those items, like you can really hit a jackpot. If
it also drops the infusion as well,
and the infusion, which is cool. Like I like that the infusion drops. You know where it comes from. You can do it daily or whatever. So those are good rewards in my opinion.
Agreed.
But a lot of the stuff you do and a lot of the events you do is just here's the unidentified blue, like you swim in that stuff, and it's just not.
So
and I don't know how you solve that, but it just doesn't feel good to just like I do a daily run around and do a bunch of events and stuff, and I've got like 50 green unidentified. Like I don't even care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the thing though about. I think that they're trying to hit a balance with, because one of the issues that they have with the living world is that everyone says they blast through it in a few hours and that's it. They don't log in again for another 3 months. And kind of what they've done is said, right, what they've done is they've presented a much larger list of achievements and you've got a higher number to tick off if you want to complete it. And what they've done, they've said, if you want to complete it and you want to get this rock out emote, then here you go. This is your exclusive thing. And what they have done is they've packed the map with so much stuff. So some of them are quite annoying actually. Like you have to get like the shooting range ones. You have to get all 25 each individual target thing in the time frame. So what they've done is there is a little bit of inbuilt challenge in these achievements. It's no longer just a checklist to kind of go through and just go, okay, we've got to kill these in 30 seconds. We've got to, although that was literally the achievement that I was doing as we were setting up the podcast. But I think what they've done, they've given us that. They've given us these high-end rewards. I think eventually, maybe in a year or two, they will start increasing the drop rate of infusions, because if you look at how, or at least I think they should, because if you look at how often people wear infusions these days, it's like you have a couple of people with them, like you don't see them. I mean, maybe it's because the drop rates are so low you don't see them, but even when you can buy like
infusions,
all of the infusions, but even when you can buy like ghostly infusions from the trading post or whatever, like you don't see a huge amount of them these days. I mean, I'm
kind of glad though.
Yeah. And
like,
I think
it's kind of obnoxious. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if everybody had them, for sure. And I totally see the value in that. But like, if everybody had them, it would. I'd be gross.
Do you know what I think Aurora and
Vision.
Aurora Vision. I think that looks more obnoxious. Like just the things floating around. I think it looks way more invasive than an infusion.
That's all
It reminds me of just a
preference.
legendary though. Yeah, I like it.
I gotta say, when I see someone that has like 6 infusions piled on top, I mean, I stop and look. I'm like, holy crap, you are glowing. You are sparkling. Like, oh, wow. You play a lot of this game.
And then you turn off post-processing and you're just like, oh, that's better.
But there's so much flashiness. And with the mounts, like the mount that just came out, like that, jackal is like a...
Everyone loves the jackal,
that
man.
Deer,
like,
oh my god.
Yeah,
Pokemon or something.
It looks so good. I really.
I don't know enough about Pokemon to know. But
like
somebody said it
Arceus
like
or something.
Pokemon.
It's like one of the.
What doesn't look like a Pokemon?
You guys don't know crap about Pokemon. Okay, if this was Pokemon Gab, I'd be the host. Okay,
wasn't it like? Wasn't there like no? There was it like Black and White 2 or Sun and Moon that had like legendary deer or something? And...
Yeah, Xerneas from
Xerneas,
Pokemon.
apparently.
The cover Pokemon from X.
Scraping the barrel.
I think it was wooden potatoes.
No, it's not. It's meant to be like Yggdrasil. It's like the kind of life Pokemon. It's cool.
Yeah, but there were dragons.
Shut up, Alex. Pokemon's cool, man.
They had what with the Springer?
A Pikachu Springer. And then you
oh yeah, you already kind of can if you like dye it yellow. You can totally make a Pikachu.
True. But yeah, like for the amount of content they've packed in the map, just kind of getting back on track, I think the amount of the number of achievements is about right, even though it does seem like a lot on the face of things. Do you have to do every single one? Are there only 54 achievements on the panel?
I don't know if it's everyone.
I'm not sure.
Or can you get away with doing a couple?
It's probably nearly everyone.
Yeah.
If you really want the rock out thing, go do structured PvP or World vs. World. You'll have it way sooner.
Oh, is it like the final reward tier thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the other thing too. If you already have it, rock out, then it gives you some karma or something. It says
5,000 karma.
I haven't completed it, so I don't know how much it gives you. But that's kind of underwhelming. But anyway,
yeah.
There's a new microphone skin. Sorry, there's a.
Oh my god, the focus is a microphone.
No, it's a
Warhorn.
So you actually blow into it or whatever, which is super.
You scream into it.
I don't know if it actually has like a unique sound effect or something.
I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
I just like a really like grindcore kind of brie coming out of it.
I think it's amazing that they're not only adding new emotes, but that it's earnable in game. I mean, I know it's a big thing. Like they implemented if you have the Just Dance Volume 1, you can just have it as emotes now, so you don't have to actually like equip the novelty item and then like push the buttons to do these other dances. So if you have it, and they were very smart and put it on sale, I totally bought it. For like a couple dollars, and then you have 3 more dance emotes, and you can just do like slash shuffle or slash gear grind, and you have new dances. I thought that was so smart. So if they start adding new emotes, which I think is something that they've needed for a long time, to the episodes, because people always say we want more stuff that's earnable in game, right?
Yeah.
Well, here
emotes
we go.
for a start. Emotes for a start, and the number of emotes that someone like ESO has, they just keep churning them out and out and out and out.
Yeah.
And they have them for there's a bunch of different ones for each race as well. So like there's a dance, there's a drunk dance, there's like flex, and then and each of these for like different races and stuff. So it's really cool to see that we're getting back into it, and like the rock emote looks so good at the concert.
They did a really cool thing as well, where if you try to rock out and you don't have it unlocked, it tells you need to do Bound by Blood meta achievement to unlock this emote or whatever, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Not seeing that, but can we talk about the concert?
1 second,
because it's so good.
Last GuildGab, I spoke about how like I was really wanting something that I could just grind, like a reward. I could just do a dungeon over and over again to get, and I'm just really glad that that's what the strike mission was like. The fact that there's this unique bit of armor and there's like the chair, things like that. Like, I've
not done the strike mission yet. I need to get it.
I haven't done it outside the story
and
either.
If they add more of these, maybe one with each episode or something, and there's little rewards like that, like this is super cool. Like it's exactly what I was asking for last GuildGab. So,
and they did something else that's really nice too. And I know some people are saying it's not raidy enough or whatever. I do believe there should be a challenge mode even for the strike mission. I know that some people won't like that or whatever, but like you do the strike mission, which is very, in my opinion, it's very easy. You can ignore many of the mechanics. there's people out there who can solo it, not me, but you know, we did it with 3 people the other day.
Yeah,
and
it got duoed in like
that was
a couple hours.
And I think DeRoyer has soloed it, and other people have soloed it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. A challenge mode would just be like, okay, you've done this, very easy. Here's the next step if you want to do it.
I think they're coming,
which is great. So hopefully that does come, and hopefully that's repeatable, and that's great. What they have done, which is really good, is that daily it resets, and you can earn up to 3 chests.
Yes.
The faster you kill the monster, the more chests you get, up to 3.
Ooh.
So there is a reason to take 5 or 7 or 8 people or a full 10-person squad with you, because then you'll kill it faster, and you'll get all 3 chests in one go.
That's really smart.
Yeah. I still think like I think 5-man would have been fine. I think going in with over 5 should, I don't know, automatically add some kind of difficulty scaling or the challenge mode or something. It did feel like 5 was where it should be. With 10
it sounds like
remember it's going to change. They said with each episode they're going to change up the mechanics, so it might continue to get harder.
I wonder, maybe there'll be like little modifiers and stuff. That'd be really cool. Like weekly they change kind of like
instabilities on the
no, but like that'd be super cool actually. Like if there was little reasons to come back and do them, you know. There's definitely like by the end of the saga, there's going to be runs every day. You do your strike run, and it's like you go through each map. Doing them all. That's cool.
I think I said this last time. It's seriously like just seeing the strike mission hands on now. They are having another proper go at like raid introductions, and then challenge modes and that kind of thing. So at least hopefully some of the end game guys will be happy to see that they've not quite given up on raids just yet. So
I just didn't think it felt raidy enough.
Yeah.
They might have wanted to start it kind of soft for people who are not used to this. They don't want it to be so difficult for the people who are not raiders, who are just casual PvEers.
I totally get that.
That they'll never try another one.
Yeah.
I just the specimen chamber from that. What map is it? I can't remember.
Specimen. Oh, the
like is it Sandswept?
Yeah.
Like you fight one boss and then another boss and then it's like both at the same time or whatever, and you have like those kind of 2 elements mixed together. Like I genuinely think like that event is a harder time than this was, and I feel like just a little bump in difficulty here, just it felt like just a kind of open world boss. Like you were gonna win. It was just kind of waiting until it dies.
Like Peachy was saying, though, I think for a first step, for a first strike mission, I think it's really important and really good to let players know that you shouldn't be afraid to go in there and do this. You shouldn't be scared that you're gonna fail, or it's too hard for you, or there's too much time.
No, totally. Yeah, no.
So for that, I think
it's better
really
to be
good.
Too easy than too hard, right? As the intro.
For a first step.
Yeah.
Going forward, players are going to want a little more, and hopefully ArenaNet delivers on this, like they said they were going to, with adding more mechanics and stuff. Where it does become a little more difficult and so forth. And hopefully the rewards keep up to that as well. But for a first step, I think it's
good job. It's fun. It's got the little jumping puzzle kind of thing as well. It's a nice little mix. Just a tiny encounter that's fun. And I think with the rewards, which honestly I wouldn't have even expected, a kind of exclusive rare chance drop rewards. It could have just been a daily chest thing. So I'm really, really glad they added that. Super surprised, and that's exactly what I was wanting. So okay, Alex,
all right,
you can
Alex is ready to explode.
Mel. Let's go, dude.
The concert.
It's so good. Like never mind that there's, like there's the achievement panel, which is like 15 different things about it, but it like starts off and everyone's kind of like wandering up, and like the hype builds for it in map, and then everyone turns up, and then it starts, and like the atmosphere is so cool, and like then everything just goes like mad, and like players start running around, and it's like being in being in a proper thrash pit, like on screen.
I was gonna say, like, they nailed the atmosphere. Like, just as it was about to start, I got that kind of like, oh, it's about to start thing that like you get a real gig.
And then and
when you start running in circles, I was like, oh my god, is there like a circle pit, dude?
There's like a circle pit, and then there's even like an achievement for like proper like actual like pit etiquette, where like if somebody goes down, you pit. Because
really,
if you go if you go to like metal shows, there's like an unspoken rule. If someone falls over in the pit, you stop and you pick them up, and like there's an achievement for picking people up who fall over.
Oh my god!
And
there's like an unwritten code that everyone abides by.
Yeah, like they just nail everything about like the atmosphere of a metal show, and like it's frenetic, it's mad. There's like 3 or 4 different things going on. Like the boss thing breaking at the back is like completely Spinal Tap as well.
Yeah, it's so Spinal Tap.
So ridiculous. and there's it's just cool, and like they've got this. I think we were saying last time that we were expecting like a really almost like industrial kind of sound for like Char Metal, but they've come across with like this really early 80s kind of like thrash, early black metal kind of sound. It sounds like really early Venom, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, totally. It's cool, man.
yeah. Look at that. I was like, it's some whoever came with that logo.
Freaking T-shirt, man. They need to make the T-shirts, dude.
We need
like IRL Metal Legion T-shirts. Yes.
Man, like, I would legit rep that.
Yeah, like, me too. There was
it's the logo's rad.
Yeah, there was a thing that Valve did for Left 4 Dead 2. Did you ever play the was it the circus campaign, and you finish up in the stadium, and you have to like set off all like the pyro for like a band that was supposed to be playing there. They were called the Midnight Riders, and they used to sell the Midnight Riders tour T-shirts of this fictional band. Like they need to do that.
They could make so much money.
Oh yeah, I would be all over that. I would be all over that.
It's coming to whatever the
It's got to. Yeah, the for fans by fans, they've got to. Just the Metal Legion logo that they made there.
You know what? I hope though. The whole time I was like, I really hope that they actually go on tour. In game, I mean, obviously.
Oh
like,
man!
How cool would it be? Like
next week they're playing in
like
Lion's Arch. Next week they're playing in Holbrook. Next week they're playing in.
And
that would be hilarious.
Getting like I don't know if you could interact with them after the show or something and get their autograph, and maybe it's a collection. You get their autograph at all the different shows, and
that would be so cool.
Like stuff like that'd be so rad.
Now you do see them like walk up onto the stage, they do their thing, and then they're like on the side afterwards, and then somewhere in the map there's a little camp that's where they are between shows.
Yeah.
So you can follow. I don't think you can really talk to them, or if you do, they're kind of dismissive, kind of like you're beneath me or whatever. I forget, but yeah, but you do see them like just hanging out by the fire and doing their thing in their little camp between shows, which is super cool. They don't just disappear. And with the little Asura, there's a little like tech Asura running around doing all the tech in the background. He's like, none of my volunteers showed up. Who's gonna be my volunteers? So you can choose with all of the events that go on. You can choose to be in the audience. You can choose to be to help the Asura with the tech. You can choose to hype up the crowd. You can kind of choose what you want to do. You don't have to do all the events.
I think like the band members can get downed as well.
Can they?
Yeah,
with the crazed fans.
When I did it, and so like the drummer got downed and the drums weren't playing.
Really? No way.
It was like you have to, as far as I know, I'm pretty like that definitely happened. I'm pretty sure the drums weren't there, and so like you had to res them so that
so they could keep playing.
That is so cool.
I want posters of each of the
band members.
Yeah, the band members, man, that'd be so rad.
I mean, it was just like
they looked like super 80s kind of glam in terms of appearance, like big hair and everything. But yes, I was surprised that the music was
like it's heavy,
wasn't
man.
as terrible as I was expecting.
Yeah, like,
As someone who's not into metal music and concerts and bands and stuff like that,
Really? I would never would have guessed.
No, never.
Never.
I loved all 3 songs. So they did the
were actually
perfect
catchy
job.
as hell.
They did the perfect job of blending, like it was heavy metal,
just
but it was this
pleasing.
mass appeal. It was very pleasing to
Yeah.
listen to. You know, and the lyrics, you know, if you're into Guild Wars and you're into the characters, the lyrics are so good. Oh man.
It was heavy actually. Like the music was pretty heavy, like a lot heavier than I was expecting. I was expecting kind of like we are Char and we'll slay the dragon.
kind of
you
like
know,
cartoony or whatever. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
They definitely put a lot of effort into that whole everything with the concert, like voice acting and singing.
And the thing is you know what I was me and Val were talking about this actually because they showed it off in the little trailers, you know, leading up to the episode coming out. And we were kind of expecting it to be, you know, where you see Banger and it's kind of part of that instance. And it's like, yeah, let's go, and kind of kicking it off. And there's so much effort and stuff into that and using it as promotion and stuff. But it's just a freaking event. You know? Like, it's just there. And it's, I don't know, it's crazy. Because
viewers in chat are saying the cool part is that if you like say you know that the concert's going on but you don't know where it is, you can hear the music and you can follow the direction of the music to the concert. So the events are so like the sound is dynamic, and in the map they actually will announce like the big events, like the derby is starting or the concert's going to be starting soon. There's event boards that will tell you, but then it's also announced audibly on the map, and so they are directing you audibly to these events. It's so cool.
An amazing job with the sound, like an amazing job with it's just great. Like, I mean, even without like the Char concert thing, still a wonderful map. But the way that like someone's obviously into that kind of stuff, whoever designed it, and they just got like the little details right, and they just managed to create this awesome atmosphere there. And I think like they shove a load of NPCs in there anyway, so even if it ends up with just you being there trying to get the hype up, this, you know, it's still going to feel fairly crowded in like 3 or 4 months time. But because you need to do all of the main meta events to try and get the infusion anyway, if you want to go for the Carneur chest, you need to do all 4 of the main metas. So for the so if you do the 4 main meta events, you get a key fragment, and you have to get iron, blood, ash, and flame. And once you've got all 4 bits, you can then open this chest somewhere. I've not actually opened one yet, but you need all 4 bits to open the chest, and that's where you can get your Char infusion and some unique skins from. So again, it's going to be one of these maps that isn't gonna fade, and I think it's going to be interesting if the Ice Brood Saga kind of continues this way, that it engages the players to kind of do the metas for not just for kind of trade contracts or currency or whatever. It'd be interesting to see the effect that it has on farming some of the earlier maps.
Yeah.
Because even some of the ones that aren't farmed as much, like Draconis Mons or Sandswept Isles or whatever, if they start taking the population out of those maps, because they created such a variety of engaging events.
Yeah, it's just fun as hell, man.
Yeah,
it's super good. And with the strike mission there, you know, people are always going to be coming back for that, or getting their little daily attempt at the infusion or whatever. And from what it seems like, the map might extend, right? They're saying they're going to slowly add to these maps. Is this one they've confirmed is going to get expanded upon? Because it definitely seems that way by the end.
I think that they said that this was only a partial map.
Yeah.
Now, episode 1 might go more Norn area, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
so we might get like a snowy map in Kodan. But then I think maybe episode 2 will come back and expand on Grothmar Valley.
Yeah.
There's definitely a couple of like weird invisible walls in the current map.
Yes, definitely.
There's a bit next to Doomlore Shrine that you can't get to, and
really kind of aggressive invisible walls, like a bit too close to you know, the edge of cliffs and stuff, that makes me feel like, yeah, we're probably going to be able to maybe push further up there. And also at the end, you know, you kind of get a glimpse at the Shiver Peaks, and it definitely seemed like there was more ahead of that.
Yeah.
And so whether that's just going to be, you know, a gate to the next proper zone or something that actually expands, yeah. But
Yeah, there's a
it's
gate
cool.
by the Use Pits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see the portal to the next map or whatever.
Exciting. But yeah, it's just cool. Just all the concert and like the visuals with Orion's purification on that whole kind of, and like there's a bit where Kralkatorrik came up and now it's just a big old lake and Orion's
So
sort of
pretty.
zapping it.
So
and,
pretty. But it's not. It's like you have to kind of go like over the mountain to get to it, so it preserves the look and the feel and the colors of Grothmar Valley, and then you kind of go into this other section if you want to look at like, or it's called Orion's something Ascension.
Something or other.
Yeah, it's like like the whole map
Is there
area.
anything to do there, really?
There's like
an adventure.
Like there's a race. There's two
race
adventures.
I think it's a skimmer race or something.
There's like a vista, some map points and stuff. So it's you know,
It felt kind of like an empty area, sort of.
Yeah.
You have to kind of go up on the cliff. I think there's like 2 Skyscale adventures, and then you fly around that area for the Skyscale adventure, as well as the there's a skimmer race that goes around that area. So they made that area, and there might be an event. I didn't see an event pop up there, but so there is some stuff to do there.
It's a really varied map, and it's really big. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. Hey Fed, what's up, man?
My favorite thing, my super feel good moment in the map was the chef adventure, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
We
It's
can
cool.
actually do that again.
The chopping sound, because he'll say, "I want spiky fruit, chop it up." The choppy sound that they got, the little. Oh my! I just heard the chopping sound and I was like, I love that. That is so like I don't know what it is, but every time I hear the choppy sound, I gives me a little bit, gives me a little smile. Just a little.
I haven't done that yet.
Nice.
I saw it spawn, but I was on my way to something else, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll do that later. So there's still like a lot of events that I haven't done yet. We got cat gab going on here. My goodness.
Fiddler.
And there's
See, I love the cooking event in Path of Fire, but it was like a mastery, so you could only do it once, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad that it's repeatable here, because it was super fun.
Yeah. So what going to the story?
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't touched on that yet.
Not too much. They introduced Ritlock's cub. Is it Ryland?
Ryland.
Yeah.
Ryland. Yeah.
Seemed a bit like an edgy teen.
Well, Bram's grown up, so they need a new one.
Bram grew his hair back.
Yeah.
Marjorie got not Marjorie. Casimir changed her hair a little bit.
Yeah.
Cass got new hair.
That's my last piece of nitpicky criticism about the story. For a while now, they've done this where the group is in the open world, and at first it was okay, but
I know what you're
it's just no good anymore. Like, especially like if you're trying to play on the first or even the second day. Like I think I did it on the second day it was released, and there's like 50 people standing around. I can't see Jory or Casimir or Gore. I can't see any of them really. And not only that, but the other problem that happens is the audio clips. Like as you get closer to something, they start to talk. But if you keep walking, it will clip into the next thing they're supposed to say, and then I'm like, I just missed.
Yeah,
like you can read it on your screen, you know, but it, you know, I don't know.
See,
so if they could just
I had
figure
that problem.
that out,
I couldn't,
that would be great.
I couldn't see Cass or Jory, and also say chat. Even if you disable it in your chat box, you still get the little speech bubbles and stuff. So all of these other players around me were covering.
Oh,
you know,
the NPC speech bubbles.
It was like, dude, like, chill, please.
I have was it player models set at lowest anyway, because I'm running on an i5 from like 2013, so Gotta conserve that power, man.
That's not a bad idea in
Fair
that
enough.
case. When there's 50 people standing on top of the NPC,
Yeah.
just turn your
Yeah, I pretty much always have
character
the
models. That's a good idea.
the models turned on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think even they're not gonna change that particular format, especially
There
with
was less of it, or it was most noticeable right at the beginning, because like I played it as soon as it launched, so everybody was there.
Yeah.
same here.
There,
But
go ahead.
oh, go on. Sorry.
I should say that I totally agree 100% with Inks, and I also had the thing where you're walking up, the conversation starts, I'm like, oh, okay, but then you get closer, and then it goes over to another conversation, and it's like you can't get that first one back. And I don't quite understand why they do that. I do extremely appreciate, and I think this was implemented in the last episode or a couple episodes ago, because I always had a gripe with when you're in the open world, even if it's just a random NPC conversation that's not really related to the main story, which is amazing that all of that is voice acted. It's unbelievable. They put in so much work with these side conversations, and it adds so much. But before, they were random. So if you happened to be standing by one of these NPCs, when the timer went off, you would catch this conversation. Otherwise, you would just totally miss it. And then sometimes they would overlap with each other, and you've got NPCs talking at the same time, and you're like, I don't know what to listen to. So they're getting much better at it's when you get close, the conversation procs. Good job to ArenaNet for improving on that. It's getting better and better. It's not perfect yet, but it's very noticeable, and because I want to hear all of those conversations.
Just press F, to
pay respect,
like to kind of trigger it yourself rather than.
I like it automatically starting, but it's when you've got multiple that are automatically starting as you get closer. That's
I mean, like obviously, if you're supposed to like overhear them talking first.
I think that's what it's supposed to be, because they're talking to each other as you get within, like, let's say 1,000, radius.
1,000, yeah.
But I don't know that that's not directed at me, so I keep walking forward. Oh, they started talking. Let me get close so I can see the models, and then they're like, "Oh, Commander," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry," So.
It's weird because, again, ESO manages to combat this, that somehow, even in open world, because none of their story stuff is really instant. They've managed to have a system where the NPC who you talk to is unique to you. So, like, you can have 25 other people there, and everything that's going on, it just ignores them, and you've got your own unique version of the NPC, and everyone else just sort of fades away. But then again, I guess that doesn't rely so much on like text and what have you. So maybe it's a moot point.
Flame Legion.
So much development, and them like trying to repent for everything that they've done and come back into Char society. But there's still
like,
people who are like
little cubs and stuff. Man,
man.
They done.
But you know what? They won me over with them. Like I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
The Flame Legion guys, and it seems like they're really willing to change stuff, and they've kind of moved on from that stuff.
But there's still that unease,
bangers.
both among Flame Legion and among the other Char. Even though Banger's saying we all need to come together, there's still people, you hear the conversations like, we can't trust those Flame Legion, and...
Can't trust the Flame Legion.
Actually,
it was really well
done. I feel Banger's kind of... I don't know exactly the right word to use here. Not ruthless, but brutal. He took their children. He's like, hey, do you want to come back in? Oh, we would love to. Well, you're gonna have to give us your cups.
Yeah.
Give us your children. They're gonna be blood legion.
I'm kind of glad they did that though, because like, I was really worried that like the Char, it was kind of gonna be silly. Like, we're meant to be in the Char homeland, seeing all the legions come together, and all the trailers were like, yeah, we're the metal band, and I was really worried that it was gonna be a bit like, we're the Char. And so, like, the fact that they really reminded you that, like, this is actually, like, a real kind of brutal strength overall kind of culture, and I was glad that there was, like, actual kind of real elements of that there among the kind of funny, silly, whatever.
Can we also talk about how Ash Legion are the worst spies on Tyria?
I mean,
they don't even know what's going on with, like, Banger and the other legions and stuff. They're like, we had no idea.
Yeah, that's Ash Legion. They're just sort of there. Like I think
no order whispers, you know.
Well, yeah, man. I think Ash Legion have the least characterization out of all the legions so far, just because the only thing that people know the Ash Legion for is that ridiculous, stupid heart in Blaze Ridge Steppes.
Oh, we have to stealth through the ogres or whatever.
No, it's the one where you have to like stealth through their camp like repeatedly, and it's just dull, and you just end up waiting for the same easy one to respawn. See, the thing is, everyone knows immediately what that Ash Legion heart.
Yeah,
it's like
everyone knows that. Yeah.
Where you got to be invisible and go around the whatever.
Yeah. I'd like to see more of that stuff.
No hearts, yeah. They haven't been doing hearts.
Also,
I'm glad.
Doing away with that.
I wanted to touch on that because this was something they did so well that they've done and they need to keep doing this. Is whereas before, like doing the hearts you needed to do to get like get access to like the vendor loot or whatever. Now you have to do the quests to progress the story. So like actually doing the dynamic and sort of radiant quests in their various hubs or wherever they appear, they're actually integrated into the story progression. So even though like you can just kind of go, oh, you sort of have to do them a bit, but rather
it doesn't feel like here, go do hearts now.
Yeah,
you know, like it wasn't just like a.
It doesn't feel forced. It's like, hey, go and check out what's going on, and in order to progress the story. And what's awesome about it is every time you complete a little, you get a little bit more of Bram getting hammered, and then the bit where he where he wakes up and you have to get him out of the cell and that. And it's just so cool that they've realized, right, people don't like the hearts, but we've got to keep people invested in the quest hubs and the dynamic events in the maps, and
that's a good balance.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine people who just want to blast through the story will be entirely happy with it, but
that's something they've done for a long time. But I felt this one was actually fun. Like I was like, yay! I get to go play in this fun new map. Not I have to do so many events. Are we done yet? You know, like I wasn't even paying attention to the little bar filling up. I was just having fun checking out the map because the map was so much fun. Yeah. And it kept you engaged in the story because of like Bram talking to you, Gorik talking to you over
just adding little things.
The only problem I had with that, I enjoyed the like Bram slowly getting drunker, and you had to establish that Bram was in creating a friendship with Ryland until they betrayed him. But so they established that while you were doing the open world stuff, which I thought was really good. The only problem with that is I had Bram's drunkenness in my ear twice during the concert. I was enjoying the concert. I was like, this is awesome. And they're going like, all right, Tyria, or whatever. And then Bram's like, hey, Commander. And I was like, shut up, Bram. I'm trying to listen to the concert. I wanted to like
that's the perfect moment.
That's perfect.
And then Gorik's like, turn off, get off this frequency. Like, want somebody, close his line.
A bit though where he's drunk as hell with Ryland and he accidentally calls him Rocks.
Oh no!
And he's like, "Who's Rocks?" or whatever, and it was like,
nobody. That's a big yikes there.
Oh man.
I guess having the drunk shouting in your ear at the concert made it realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But
then his bow got stolen, and the rest of the story happens, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind if we want to talk about it and spoil it, because I've not finished it yet.
Well, that's on you. Guess what?
You haven't finished it yet? Like
no.
Like the bit where Bram dies was just like.
All right. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna spoil it for Alex.
No,
so I don't care.
What happens is
Bruce Willis dead the entire time.
What happens is Ritlock is forced to kill Ryland. Krisha kills Ritlock, and then at the very end, Timey dies off screen. That's the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
It was really sad. Yeah.
It was
It was
Yeah.
super sad.
There was
dude.
no Timey in this episode whatsoever.
Oh no! What a shame.
What a shame.
Ah,
No, I
How
like,
bad?
I like Timey.
Timmy's
like-
gotten much better. Timmy's
Yeah,
gotten much
no, I
better.
love
Oh, Inks misses her. Oh,
I
that's-
miss Timmy.
Oh, I thought we'd never hear it.
she's got. Well, hang on. You're saying she's got much better since developed.
Since she's
terminal
dead.
illness.
She's not been in the story.
Oh, yeah, she's mentioned because she's all into her research. She's writing like a dissertation on Aurene, is basically
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she's doing. So she's busy with that.
But I think ArenaNet does things pretty well, even in this episode, where, like at the start, Casimir, Jory, and Goric are like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do whatever," because ArenaNet has learned over time, and they've done several interviews about this as well, where you just can't have, you can only have so many characters per story to focus on to make any meaningful progress.
Yeah.
You know, if they're all there, you're not gonna like ever get to hear from XYZ versus, you know, the couple that are involved. So
Yeah, man. No,
I think I think they're just gonna shift through different kind of team builds or whatever. You know, like this season we've not got Kanak, but we've got Jory and Cass back, and then the next one, you know, maybe we'll have, you know, whoever else. So
yeah.
you know,
Kanak and
I think
Zoja.
that's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoja's never coming back.
So just well, I was actually just thinking about this because, like, literally as we were talking, that, like, yeah, Zoja's been she's been in a coma for what, 4 years now, has she?
She's her brain is like deteriorated at this point.
She's
Yeah, but she's
literally
not better
a
by now.
That's it.
I don't think there's much hope.
But I think
waste of
think-
electricity.
Do you think maybe in the background that Timey now has Zoja's story arc? Maybe if Timey was only introduced as like a supporting character, and then for what, you know, obviously Felicia Days, you know, she's become a mother and she got married and she's got all of her other projects going on. That because the voice actress is unavailable, they've shifted like Zoja's arc onto Timey, maybe.
If that's true, which it could be, that's a decision they made in season 2. Like they made that decision a long time ago.
Yeah.
Or it could just phase into that. They most likely had big plans for what, you know, the aftermath of Logan and Zoja and Hawthorne's whatever.
If you think about it, with the exception of Ritlock, all of the other ones have been since retired or dead, right?
Yeah.
Kaith, man.
Kaith's alive, sure, but she
popped back for
you know,
2 seconds. And then...
Yeah, I mean, she's not super active, I guess you could say. So that's why I say sort of retired.
Oh, does she turn up?
She's not dead, but she's sort of retired.
No. But she was there.
I would be surprised if we don't see her this season because of her connection to Aurene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
if they bring like the Crystal Knights or the Bloom Knights, whatever they call themselves, if they bring them into the story somehow, then Kaith will.
They were in the map, like I think they were like by like an event or something, but they weren't like in the story. Not in the main
I kind of
story.
hope we don't see much of Aurene this season.
And like Logan's alive, but now he's like the pack command. Like I said, like the old characters, with the exception of Ritlock, are kind of retired at this point, and we're dead, aired and stuff. But
I think, you know what though, I just realized I think we're due Ritlock leaving for whatever reason, whether it's through a death or whether it's him.
Kill him.
I'm gonna go focus on being a dad or whatever. But like
maybe
we've
after
had
this...
him around. Yeah, or maybe like throughout the season at some point or at the end of it. But like we've had him around since, you know, the first instance in Hawthorns.
Yeah,
you know, he disappeared and then he came back in that.
I don't know, but he is like one of the faces of the game, and like,
of course,
you know,
of course,
no one's raging
like,
that Ritlock is like in the
story. No, and I love the character. I also think that because Steve Bloom does so much kind of like background VA for them as well, killing off his character might get a little bit awkward. Yeah, but doesn't Kaith's voice actor as well though?
Oh yeah, they all do. Timey and Bram.
Yeah. You could just get him to cover some of the Bram voice guys' work.
Yeah, but it's Steve Bloom.
He's got
Steve Bloom's amazing. I love him. He's cool.
Yeah, you know he's great, but like,
I'm loving the Ritlock character development, especially like with his
100%,
cub.
I agree.
And now that I mean, in the final instance, Ryland is right beside Bangar, and they're going for Jormag. They say
Yeah.
the commander has Aurene. We don't know what they're gonna do with this power because they're convinced that like Aurene is our weapon, even though we continually say no, we don't control Aurene.
It totally reminds me of that whole kind of just like the idea of like nuclear weapons, right?
Also,
Like we have it, but it's like to
a
protect
Cold War
us.
arms
Don't
race.
worry, we're never gonna
Right.
use it, but it's like,
Right.
did you have it? So I like this kind of theme, you know. It's cool.
They say there's a line at the end too where they say the commander says to Ritlock, this whole part is a little bit odd to me, but he says to Ritlock, don't worry, Ryland is just sort of, he doesn't say brainwashed, but he says something to that effect. And I hope that's not true. I hope Ryland is just bad. Just is like
agreed.
following Bangar because
I hope he's
he agrees
angry
with
as
Bangar.
hell.
Bangar is
Yeah.
very good at making people be loyal to him. Like even Krisha, even when she's standing beside Ritlock saying, you know, that's our cub, that's not good what these guys are doing, she's still loyal to Bangar. She's not going to stand beside him while he goes to try and get Jormag on his side. But so I think Bangar is just through raising Ryland and just his diplomacy and his, you know.
I just don't want to see like Ryland is Darth Vader. There's still good in him.
Yeah,
I can
agreed.
feel it.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
like, no, he's just
Yeah.
bad. He's just a bad guy. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And you're like super sympathetic to Ritlock. Ritlock doesn't even like
He
he
doesn't
didn't
give
even
a
raise
crap.
the kid.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's my
Yeah,
son.
this-
But it's
Okay.
normal for them,
It's
right?
one of my
Like,
20 kids. I don't know. you
Right.
know.
But it's normal
Yeah.
for Char. So
And I get that
I'm
it's
glad
normal,
that
but then there shouldn't be this awkward feeling or
Yeah.
whatever.
I kind of got that Ritlock was kind of going through a struggle. Like, I don't really know him, but he is my cub, and you know, because they
What does that
do.
mean?
I got the
Did I
sense
try
that
and-
there was this disconnect just because they're Char and because he wasn't around. But there
Yeah.
was still like almost like he's struggling. Should I care?
Yeah, that's it, right? It
Should I
didn't
care
feel
about
like-
Ryland?
Fair.
Yeah, it didn't
Do I
feel
have an
like, oh my god, I
obligation
care about him,
to
but I don't
to
know how
care
it's
about him?
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like he was conflicted, but it was purely internal. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. You know,
Yeah.
like he was just struggling with the concept of it.
Mhm.
And I agree. I think like I don't know, Bangar's charming as hell. I was like listening
He's
to him
cool.
speak in his cutscenes. I'm like, you know, maybe getting Jormag's not a bad idea. Maybe we should, you know, maybe it's fine. He kind of brought me onto his side a bit. Plus,
I want
think-
that moment where Krisha and Ritlock just have it out, because you can
Wait,
feel
what?
like not no.
Are you about
Like-
to say you can
yeah,
feel the
like
sex
argue, scream and yell at each
from
other.
Krisha?
maybe it's time we
No,
had
she's
another
all
talk.
business. She is all business.
She's owl business.
Yeah.
Well, when
I
they
like
introduced Krisha to the commander, they were just like, we're old friends. Like, I didn't even know till like the end of the episode. I was like, wait, she's his mom? I was like, wait, what? I wouldn't even know. I mean, but so it was like that's just how Char are. They did a really good job of characterizing the Char as a culture and how they are, which is something we really needed in this game. And I'm excited to see the same thing with the Norn next episode, hopefully. Like, I want to know more about Norn culture and just how they are.
Same here.
By the way, that brings up something interesting. Why is it so? Bram is Bram Airson,
Yeah.
right? And what's the name of the new female Norn we haven't seen yet?
Yora's daughter. I can't remember her first
Yes.
name.
Joris.
So her last name is her
Jorah's
last name is
daughter.
Jorah's daughter,
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
But then why is it Newt Whitebear and Erstagulkin? They're not somebody's son or daughter. Like,
well,
why is the
it's-
last name different?
Well, it was the same with like actual Vikings. It was like
Yeah.
you could either get your name from your father or mother, depending on their kind of actions, but you could also earn your own name based on your actions or whatever.
Yeah.
So basically, Jorah's daughter and Bram haven't
From S.
I think it's just because their
haven't done
parents were
anything
heroes,
significant
right?
to have their own Western name.
Well, no,
No, I think
mean,
it's
they're
just
still
they were
quite
given
young,
it
aren't they?
because they're like at birth. They're given it just because how notable their parents were, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting too, I think, is that they seem to be named after their mothers and not their fathers.
Oh.
Bram was raised by his dad, but he
Yeah.
carries
He's still
his mother's
Airson.
name.
Oh.
Right.
Well, because
And
the Air was
Jorah's
so
daughter.
Again,
notable.
Air was
in-
just the big hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And the dad was nobody.
Same with
Because he
Jorah.
was-
She was a
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Yeah.
you just take like
one
whoever
as
has
the
the kind of biggest,
Whoever's the greatest
like,
achievements.
legend or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
legend. Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting observation.
Bram, Commander's best friend.
Best friend.
I'd like to write in chat that there is a bit of dialogue where Ryland asks why he wasn't Toothbreaker or something Splitter, or isn't there? Because they end up talking about how he chipped the tooth or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and also there's like, just on that, they're like, some of the ambient dialogue in the map is just incredible. Did you guys find the there's like the book club, and like
No.
there's like this bit. So you know, like every book club, there's always at least one person who doesn't bother reading it, and they try and like skim through,
Or
There's,
doesn't
like,
bother playing the content
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. You're fired, bro.
Sorry, go ahead.
I need this.
Get
But
out of
yeah,
our game
the-
club. Our nerd club.
Busy. Trying to fix the network all week at work.
Yeah.
I was
Just turn it off and on again. It's not hard, man.
Tried.
Reinstall
Work.
Windows.
Just reinstall Windows, bro.
I have not found the book club yet, though. No,
I lose the internet pixels. Anyway, yeah. So there's this bit where there's some char like kind of hanging around, and they say, "All right, so we're gonna." It's like poetry or something that they're talking about, and one of them tries to like fake it, and they're like, "You didn't even skim it, man." And he's like, "Oh, but the words and stuff," and it's just really cool. They're all like sitting around, so at least there's like a little bit of kind of like background for char scholars. It's not just kind of like, these guys need to read books because of plot. And then there's like a priory archivist and a char, and they're in a garden somewhere. In fact, I think as soon as you come to the map, you just go straight on, and it's like the first little char village, and like they're talking about like Norn legends and all that kind of thing, and yeah, it's just
wow.
really cool. It's just like little bits and pieces like that, and I think then they head off and get a drink or something, and I'm just like,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I love the little flavor stuff that it might not have anything to do with the main story, but like or like there's two char, and I think there's the same thing where like one of them, they're talking about the Flame Legion. I think it's by the Flame Legion camp, and they're talking about the whole like, should we trust the Flame Legion? But then it ends with like hey, we have the same ideals. Want to go somewhere private? And they're like, yeah, maybe. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like that's just like random, like it's slice of life stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
It felt really lived in, this whole area.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kind of, you know what? It kind of gave me a feeling of like a capital city would, where you're just kind of walking around and people are doing their thing, and there's ambient dialogue all the time, and it feels really lived in. And yeah, I'd be totally fine with this being kind of like a new capital, just super up north.
Well, it is like the
Really
Homelands
nice.
map, isn't it? So it's
Yeah,
kinda...
but strangely though, it didn't feel that residential. There weren't like homes really that I could
that's
see.
true.
So, but yeah,
But-
it had the same energy.
But we've only been in like a keep or something. We've not like seen a full capital city yet, have we? Or be interesting to see if we do get something like a major questing hub or a main story hub or something. If we if we go that way, it'd be interesting to Sif Haller and Overstead. What's it called?
Olafstead.
Olafstead, yeah, it'd be great because I was looking on the map and I'm like, oh man, we are so close to the Hall of Monuments. And if you go west off the map, then like Sif Hallett and Olafstead are they're just like right there, you know? They're just like over the hills.
Do you think we'll go to near either north? Like,
I think we should. It's
cool,
there and it's ready for the taking, man.
Well, we know in episode 2 we're gonna get
Guildhall or something.
Car as a world boss.
Right.
Oh, right. And that's like super right outside it, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're in that general area.
Dracolic is just north of
north of the north.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, man. Yeah. Guildhall, either north. Guildhall.
Oh god! Oh my god!
It'd be cool to it'd be cool if it would engage some more players in the Eye of the North stuff, because only kind of veterans have any reason to go there for like the rewards and that kind of thing. And I think,
and even then, not really, since the wardrobe system.
Yeah,
because you can just unlock the skins and then you're done.
Yeah, and I think that if people I've not been to the Eye of the North for years, right? And I think even if there was,
Alex,
because I was going to say, what if they did another attempt at a home instance, right? And the only reason that I'm saying is because there's the event with the Stomper, where you have to fix the 10 Stompers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The quest giver on your map, it's the same icon that the quest givers for decking out Sun's Refuge has.
Oh.
So it's like the little blue card with the gold. Is it like a gold crown on it or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the same icon, and I saw that and I thought, hello, what's all this?
Could just be reusing it though. But yeah, I would love a little home instance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Or just, to be honest though, it'd be nice to have a hub, because going to Eye of the North, you would see folk around before you enter like the Hall of Monuments and stuff. So it'd be cool to just see people in that kind of entrance hall again. Just other players and stuff hanging around.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love it. But it's kind of weird that with a prologue episode they've set the bar the bar is very, very high.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, like the last 2 episodes, even
the last 2 episodes are wow.
It's just in a straight line up, in terms of quality. So it's, I don't know. This saga could be properly amazing. When do you guys think the next update will be?
I think they said November.
Yeah?
Is the next
there'll be Halloween.
Yeah. October will be Halloween. November's the next story. October. December, Christmas. February, episode
January,
2.
February,
November would be the time to do it.
Yeah, I believe
2 months? Think so?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be about on course with their release cadence, wouldn't it? Their planned release cadence.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll have like side story stuff in between, or
like current events and stuff? Maybe little stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, you got Halloween, and I know for veteran players you've done it, whatever. But there's always new rewards,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And in the meantime, they'll probably continue to do and they need to vary this up, but boss week and that kind of stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there'll be stuff like that for sure. Any incentive to get to log in and play. That's what they need. They need you to log in. Yeah. So
I've really got I've got to hammer Halloween this year. For years and years, I was screaming about getting the Mad Memoirs book back, and it's memoirs, not memories. Everyone in the damn world.
Mad memories.
He's not salty.
I'm not salty. It's just that when you put letters in a particular order, they tend to spell different words.
Yeah, they make words.
But it came back with the purple one and the shadowy one, and I was like, I need those, and then promptly did nothing about it. So this year,
I think I did that last year. Was it last year they brought it back, or the year before?
I think it was the year before, because you got like the candly weapons as well. Like the ones that look like melted candles, they look amazing. And like this year is the year I'm invigorated, I'm hyped.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm not gonna have any free time, but
look at this release did, and it reinvigorated you for Halloween. It's good.
Honestly, like it's kind of everything we were asking for last episode. You know, just something to make us log in, get hype. It just proved. I think it proved a lot of the kind of the doubts that we had after the reveal and stuff wrong.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this saga.
Yeah, yeah, like, I mean, we've chatted before in private on our little thing, and I've been saying, oh, I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to quit this game. I'm fed up. Oh, they don't do anything for me. I'm ready to quit. And now I'm here like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I want to buy t-shirts. I want to do everything.
Yeah, I want to buy t-shirts. I want to.
He's ready to lay down the cash.
Dude,
for Metal Legion.
Some of those leggings. And
Metal Legion. Cash. Okay, we need. Someone mentioned earlier in chat. Metal Legion Halloween song about Mad King Thorn. See, for the holidays, you come in, and Winter's Day, sing some Christmas carols.
I'm up for that.
Let's write like a death metal shred fest about Halloween.
Let's do it. I honestly love that.
Metal Legion on tour.
I actually did a Christmas song years ago, for Guild Wars 2, but I need to do another one because I've lost it.
Oh, that wasn't the one you lost, was it?
Sent me it?
No. It was the
You sent me one a while back. I might still have it somewhere.
It was a Chuck Berry parody.
Okay,
and it was just like a 12 bar.
Metal Legion covers "Fear Not This Night."
It has to be like night wishy as hell, or like super symphonic.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get the drum track, like, and then, oh man, the guitar harmonies.
It'd be so good.
Actually, for those who are musically inclined, like Corvus and Alex, that's actually a good, I think, niche of the community, writing metal songs for Metal Legion.
The problem is, for me, I've had the ideas a few times, but like, I don't know, man. You can't go too heavy. You have to kind of appeal to the normies, you know?
That's exactly what they did in the game. That's exactly what they did with the Metal Legion song. So you got to go along that line.
Yeah.
But the guy who won the guitar, he did an amazing version of the instrumental version.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was cool. Vinny something or other, wasn't
he? Yeah. He won the 3D printed guitar.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Let's do it, Corvus. Let's write ourselves a song.
Yeah, but you like crap dad metal, dude. You don't like good metal, bro.
Look,
you look like a little denim jacket with your weed.
Hang on, I've been listening to like the new Amon Amarth for the last couple of weeks.
Amon Amarth, dude. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, don't you dare,
dude.
You can't sit.
They release the same album over and over again, dude.
Yeah. Hang on. Hey, says the black metal elitist, where they use the same production and the same diminished chords across the entire.
They record them in different caves.
But they all use the same
novelty microphones
to do it. But you can't sit there just going, "Oh yeah, no, I know all this stuff." Viking, maybe not.
Look,
and also, Freedom Call dropped a new album, and that is pretty dad rock.
I've not listened to that yet.
Freedom Call are amazing.
Next time on Metal Legion Gab.
Yeah.
Metal Legion.
Maybe you guys can come up with some baby metal and have Asurus do it.
Baby metal.
That'd be sick, dude.
That'd be easy to do the vocals on because we don't have to pitch shift it, can't we? Just to make it fit. And then we can do whatever we want. Oh man, we could do some proper atmospheric death metal for like the Norn and that kind of thing.
Oh man.
Corvus you just made a song for the Norn inspired, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and please buy it. I have no money and I need money. Please buy it. I will email somebody. Anyone who buys it, I'll email a picture of Alex to them.
Well, the link is in chat if you want to check out any of these guys' content. Right
Corvus,
there.
I told you those photos were just for you. All right.
Yeah.
You just
But I told you I couldn't promise anything.
That's
and
my
there was the
platinum.
mention of money, so
That's,
I mean,
that's my platinum.
I'm not a god, Alex.
That's my platinum tier Patreon. Okay. You don't get that on my Snapchat.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the show there. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out any of these guys' content, go to those links in chat or down in the YouTube description. You can check out Twitch and YouTube content. Thank you for watching. Enjoy Bound by Blood, and we will see you guys whenever episode 1 launches. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.